Hi everybody, this is Chrissy. You are watching Hollow Hangout. Um, as you guys know, the fandom has imploded, I guess is the best way to describe it, after last night's season finale where we found out that Nicole Beharie has left the show, is not coming back. Her character was killed off. There I just think across all social media, it's just been on fire for the last 24 hours. And it's taken time. I almost didn't do this tonight either, but there's been so many people that are upset about what went on, and they really want to express themselves. We're going to dedicate this Hollow Hangout to Nikki. And so a few people we have a couple things that we want to say to her. First of all, I just wanted to say, um, Nikki, you came into our lives with a vengeance, captured our attention with your raw talent, fierce, bold, energetic, quirky sense of humor, and inspired a generation. You have become a role model for women of all ages and ethnicities who struggle within the entertainment industry and prevail. You will prevail. You have prevailed. And I know whatever your next project takes you, this sleepyhead will follow. Thank you for giving us 3 seasons of Abbie Mills, the Mills Sisters, and Ichabod. I love you tons, and God bless. Okay. Okay. Michelle, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I say, Nicole, I started watching you with, I think, American Violet, and I found out that you were born in where I came from, West Palm Beach, and after that I started watching more and more of her projects, and then I found out about Sleepy Hollow. I didn't know she was in Sleepy Hollow, and then when I seen her in the pilot, I was so excited because I have such a connection with the show, the story. One of my favorite actors in this show made me so happy, and I will definitely watch everything he does. Now. It's just really hard to see Abbie. It's just hard because I really, really like the whole reason why that's great. These three so much already. The fact that I had a Abbie Mills too. And I hope she finds, wherever she goes, I hope finds work, and I hope continuing her.
Okay. All right. I think she's done. Natasha, do you want to go?
Oh, wow, that's a little quick.
Sorry.
Nicole, thank you for bringing us to Abbie Mills. You're one of the reasons why I started watching. You had great chemistry with all the cast, but what made it even more special was you had a sister in Lindy Greenwood, and just your relationship with each other throughout the series was just very special. Um, and as a young black woman, it was just really nice to see another, black woman as a co-lead in a supernatural show, because you don't really see that a lot. And so, um, thank you for that. Thank you for 3 years, and I wish you the best of luck. I'm really hoping to see you on my TV screen again. Um, and just thank you.
Okay, Darla.
Hi, yes.
Oh, y'all trying to make me cry? I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it together.
Well, I told you guys. I did say that I was gonna do this, so I'm sorry. My apologies for crying. Hi Nicole. I just wanted to tell you that I love you, and I'm really gonna miss you on Sleepy Hollow. Um, Abbie Mills is such a dear character, and she's always gonna hold a special place in my I'm so sorry. I'm really trying to not cry too much. Okay. I remember meeting you in Chicago Comic Con a couple years ago, and you're very bubbly, and it was such a wonderful experience to meet you and to just to be in your presence, your essence, and it was like the best day ever for me. And I want to say that even though you are leaving the show, I will follow you with wherever project you go to, because you're just so awesome, and I'm really gonna miss you. So yeah, let me stop talking before I cry more.
All right. Yasha, she joined us. Yasha, do you have anything you want to say to Nikki?
I can barely go after that. I wasn't even crying today at all. But Nicole, I listened. I used to listen to a podcast, and they summed up my feelings so eloquently. Abbie Mills was the character that I've been waiting my whole life to see. And I mean, my whole life, watching you on TV brought so much out of me. It even made me miss my mother more than I ever have, because I wish that she could just be here to see this kind of evolution on TV. So, I mean, I will definitely miss you, and I will follow everything you do. So much so that you'll be tired of me.
Tina, do you want to say anything?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna try. If I have to stop, I actually haven't cried at all until now. So forgive me if I have to stop. Someone else can go. Okay. I just want to say thank you, Nicole, for bringing Abbie Mills. Definitely. My favorite character of any show I've ever watched. She had me from the pilot. I wasn't sure if I wanted to share this. I have a 12-year-old biracial niece, and she's never said why, but I could tell when she would come in the summer and we would marathon Sleepy Hollow, she just loved Abbie. And so this is really hard, but I will follow you. I've watched your movies, and just thank you for bringing this character to sci-fi genre, because we don't see a lot of strong women of color in sci-fi. And I'm a huge sci-fi fantasy genre fan, and I just really appreciate the character, and I thank you for being Abbie for us. Okay.
Diana, do you want to say something?
Oh, I don't even know. Well, I want to say, Nicole, that I hadn't seen any of your work before Sleepy Hollow. It was my first experience. But from the first scene that I watched with you, I was completely a fan of your work, and not just as a black actress or a black actress on a supernatural show, but just as an amazing actress, period. And I will be following everything that you do from now on. I'm incredibly sad to see you go. I think what was already a good character was made much, much greater by the work that you did. And I think we will all miss you terribly. It will not be the same show without you at all. Not even close.
Yeah. Maria, do you want to say something?
Nicole, I met you a couple of years ago, also at Chicago Comic Con, and you were super sweet. It was super brief, and when I say thank you, I didn't say thank you, Nicole. I said thank you, Lieutenant. and you looked at me and you smiled and nodded and went, "Thank you." And that was so huge because it meant that you accepted it. You are the lieutenant. There is no Sleepy Hollow without Abbie. I'm gonna miss you. And of course I will follow you. And to me, even though you're not a glamazon, I wanted to actually put you in my pocket because you're so tiny and so cute and I adore you. You are at the same level for me as a sci-fi fan as Zoe Washburn. And if you don't know who Zoe Washburn is, watch Firefly and you will understand.
Yeah.
Thank you, and I will miss you.
And Sarah.
I was first introduced to Sleepy Hollow by Sleepy Addicts, you, and so I watched the show, and I just wanted to say that Nicole is extremely talented. She embodied the character of Abbie, and she was a delight to watch on the show, and she really got me addicted to Sleepy Hollow, and I actually started watching it and marathoning it because she was such a great character, and it's not going to be the same without her. It's going to be, pretty disappointing show. It's like half the team's gone, like half the soul was the show. And I'm going to continue following her career, and I wish her the best, and I hope that she gets everything that she's been looking for if she's left for other reasons.
Alicia, we're just, do you want to say something to Nikki? We're just saying,
Just anything really?
yeah, do you want to give a comment to her?
Well, hi, Nicole. If you're watching.
I don't know.
Well, I just going back to just the character of Abbie Mills. It's not very many characters that you see on in movies or on TV that you can actually identify with, and I think for me, I see a lot of myself in Abbie and the way Nicole portrayed Abbie on TV. Like, she brought that character to life so much on TV, and I can just there's so many things I can identify with, and then so many things that the characters help me with in my own life. So it's just it's just a pretty awesome thing to have witnessed on for 3 seasons. So it's just kind of in a way, I think it's just you have Abbie Mills' perspective was the audience perspective, and right now it kind of feels like they killed the audience in a way.
Yes.
And that's where I'm at on the whole thing. They killed us. They killed they killed Abbie, but it really killed us individually. So that's why I'm kind of emotional about it, because it's they just basically killed me.
Yeah.
So
I know. Oh man, I tell you. Well, I just want to say too. I was lucky enough to at least I was in the press room for the San Diego Comic-Con in 2014, and yeah, she was just so sweet. And I just remember I was asking her. I remember I was asking her about Grace Dixon, are we going to see Grace again? And I was actually talking about and she's like, oh, she's on it, because I actually do watch the show, and I knew what was going on, so I just love that she she acknowledged that, and it was just it was just such a nice it was just a nice memory for me to have and take with me, and I just hope she lands something really, really quick, and that it's epic. I do have a couple of emails some fans did want me to read. This one is from Kathy Chelson. She said, your portrayal of Abbie was truly one for the ages. We shall never see her like again. Thank you. And Jeanette, I think or Janae, I don't know if I said that right, sorry. She says, thank you. For 3 years, Abbie Mills was the first character on primetime TV that I could really, truly identify with and made me feel represented. A dark-skinned black woman who was petite, funny as hell, smart as hell, and brave as hell. I'm thrilled Nikki is free to find a project or projects that allow her to shine more brightly, but I will sorely miss Abbie Mills. So there you have it. That's sort of the well wishes that fans have been, but it's been Mega Mania. I do want to say, which I thought was very interesting. You know, I've been thinking about just the season as a whole, going in my mind, just going over it and over it, and I think it's very interesting. You know, in Art of War, when they were playing chess, and if you remember when Abbie says, "Nothing beats a good blindside," that was very foreshadowing. Of course, we didn't know anything because, you know, had no clue. But now when I look back on that, and then they also say, you know, a sacrifice, you know, on the whole, but it gives them the upper hand. I mean, there was like just all these different references when I think about it, and I mean, I don't know. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I just think that I just don't understand. I've always said, and you've heard me say it a million times on this show, the show is about the two witnesses. Two witnesses prophesied to be in the Book of Revelations. It's not about one witness. This whole bloodline thing. Okay, so what? Her spirit is going to now go to somebody else that's going to look like her? I don't understand. You know, I've always said the show is Tom and Nikki. It's their chemistry together. That's why we love them together. Let me just, you know, let's just set aside the Ichabod stuff, okay, just the romance side. But just looking at it from a perspective of, you know, working together, they're just so in sync. It's a natural bond. You know, I just don't understand how we're going to move forward with this. Nat, do you want to comment on?
Well, I feel like in some ways it's like a slap in the face as far as when I read the article with Entertainment Weekly and a few other articles with the producers and show writers, and I'm just like, so no one that's already on the show is going to get this ability. So you're saying that Lindy, who plays Jenny, her sister, probably should have been part of the bloodline, which means she probably should have been the next witness. I mean, there was a reason that Moloch, way back in season 1, was after both of them, not just Abbie. Like, I don't understand. So, I don't know. I guess in some ways that's even more of a slap in the face. Because it's like, at least we probably would have been able to move forward at least a little bit if Lindy was taking the mantle officially as a witness. But no, she's going to be sidelined again. So there's going to be a new character that we're going to have to just accept. I mean, if this gets to season 4, which I'm sorry, that seems to be a little bit, I don't know.
There will be a season 4. They're just that arrogant.
Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I don't know if I'm going to be watching.
Yeah. I won't. You don't have to hate to say it. I unfortunately will not either. I mean, my love ran to Nicole. Unfortunately, that she is no longer there. There would be no reason for me personally.
Exactly, I agree.
I mean, I don't feel bad about it. It just is.
It's just going to be hard to get attached to someone else, you know.
Yeah.
Since we've, you know, followed Abbie this whole time for 3 seasons, and I don't.
She's always. They're not going to be able to replace her. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. The new witness is always going to be not Abbie.
Yeah.
You know, it's just I don't know how they could. How can they duplicate the natural chemistry that they had?
It's
you know,
weird that they say that Abbie has done everything that she needed to do, but they have more stories to tell. How could you have more stories?
No,
you barely told her story.
This is the other thing. Yeah, she never found out about Danny lying. There was no conversation with Ezra. Things were left hanging. I mean, I think there was plenty more that she could. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out something. It's not so much a slap in the face that if the bloodline concept thing, it's the writers dropping the ball and not paying attention to what was happening in season 1 because they weren't freaking there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also the concept of the bloodline. I'm sorry, and Chrissy knows this because I kept referencing Supernatural. I'm a massive Supernatural fan.
Yeah.
The concept of the bloodline. Please tell me that I don't know if you guys have seen the show at all. But back when we were with Kripke in the original run.
Oh, I'm a big Supernatural fan. I know it.
Yeah. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna say the name and you're gonna understand.
Yes,
Adam.
Kripke.
Yeah? No, Adam.
Adam. Oh yeah. Adam.
Bloodline? Yeah?
Yeah.
You follow? So once again, they're taking stuff from Supernatural and doing it badly.
Exactly.
They're not thinking it through. I just don't understand how this can possibly work. So you know, I mean, I did rewatch it. I feel like I was an emotional cutter by rewatching it, but I felt like I didn't even, you know, I was so distraught watching it live that I didn't even see the ending of it, really. I mean, I didn't, the whole thing with Ichabod and Walters and Ezra and all of that. So I guess now it looks like they're kind of going to the FBI. They're going to do what, like a deep, sort of like an X-Files, where he's in charge of the secret.
They're doing an X-Files, basically.
But they just killed off Scully. I feel like they just killed off Scully.
They're doing Supernatural. They're doing Supernatural.
But X-Files for a while, when Duchovny wasn't around, we got the Terminator and Annabeth Gish, who now in the last run of the X-Files was in cahoots with Cancer Man.
Yeah, right.
But they still have to bring Duchovny back.
He popped up.
And I think that's part of the reason. I think that might even be part of the problem. It's just because all they're going to say is that they have their second witness because they're going to put Abbie's soul in someone else's body. And so they're going to do what they do on Doctor Who.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
See,
Sci-Fi fan.
It's
sci-fi stuff. There's so much, Chrissy. If there's so much that we see it coming a mile away because we're sci-fi fans and we know what's going on. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna post a picture for you of the River Song, who she was, and when they transferred River Song, who she became when they transferred her. So you know, I'm trying not to get really angry also because
they're not doing River Song. River Song is a different thing. They're doing the Doctor.
Well, yeah, the doctor too.
But they're replacing the Doctor, the actor playing the Doctor, with another Doctor.
Yeah, they did the same. Yeah, they did the same thing when River Song first came. She was a young black woman, about 20-ish. When River first came on, and it was in the Nazi episode, Let's Kill Hitler.
Yep.
She was a young black woman. The young black woman got killed, and then boom, the new River Song comes up, and it's the middle-aged white lady.
But in that show's defense, I know that we're trying not to go there with that, but at the same time, we knew who River was beforehand with the 10th Doctor. I know we're getting off track with talking about Doctor.
I'm confused. I'm confused by this because I don't watch it,
but it kind of showed how River became to be River and who she actually ultimately was, which was someone's child who we later found. I'm trying not to spoil it for anyone who has never watched the show, but
never mind. Spoilers.
It's been so long, but I mean, really.
But that's what they're doing. They're trying to do the Doctor with Abbie. They are applying the same concept of the Doctor to Abbie. And I'm sorry.
But Ichabod's the only witness then? I mean, like, so it's always Ichabod. But then anybody changes every time.
Yeah,
so now
every time.
The secondary witness has now been just relegated to it can be anybody. Part of the problem that I saw with a lot of people on social media is that Abbie went from being an equal partner to a secondary throwaway character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they could have done it and kept Abbie as equally important. I think there's a lot of different ways that they can do it. I don't know if you want to run down through them, but they didn't have to do it like this. First of all, it shouldn't have been. Abbie should never have said that her job was to move Crane forward.
Exactly.
So
That's what kind of pissed me off.
I was like, no.
I'm like, why did you have to say that? Why did they put that in her mouth to say no?
That means that she is not important. She is not his equal.
Yeah, she's
They
like
went
going
from
to
being
save Crane the whole
partners.
time.
They went to being partners for her just being a device for him to move on.
Yeah.
Like he was the main witness, and she was
Yes.
just like, and then there's one witness that just comes and helps him. It's like
Yeah.
it makes no sense.
Because George Washington was planning for Ichabod, and Ichabod's always taken care of. You know, from day one, someone's always taking care of Ichabod. You know, and Abbie, we saw her when Katrina came into the scene, how she had to work her real job, and then she had to work her witness job. Abbie's always had to be the one struggling. There's so many things I'm so sad. But if she's, you know, this tree is. Why did they have to do this?
I don't know.
And didn't they give her a poor death? Like she got swallowed up by a box. It wasn't even.
Yeah, she went into the box.
She went into the box, and we didn't even get we didn't even get a funeral.
No funeral. Nobody cried. Jenny was just like, "What?" You know?
The fandom cried.
We cried all the tears. I don't think nobody else.
Well, I mean, Jenny was sad a little bit like after the fact. It was like maybe a few hours after the fact, but Ichabod was for some reason just dry-eyed. I was like, I'm not understanding this.
Well, no,
That was her father.
But with Ichabod, I kind of understand that because he's been in battle and lost so many people, and just, you know, his eye is always on the mission. You know, he knows how to kind of separate it.
Though.
Are you talking about when he found out about Joe?
No. Oh, I thought we were talking about we were talking about Abbie.
Oh, I thought you meant when Jenny told them about, and she was kind of out of it, you know, and she was having.
Well, I mean, Jenny just lost two people. She lost her man, and then she lost her sister again. Right. Like it's like there's only so much this woman could take. I mean, granted, she now has her dad, but I mean, she's just getting to know him again.
Distraught about losing his daughter either, so.
Yeah, I don't know. And even there was no conversation with even Danny, who's supposedly in love with her. They tried to build this relationship, and it really pretty much went nowhere. And now it's just like, I'm not understanding. You didn't even like resolve that part of it. I mean, they were just trying to get their life together. If there was a season 4, is he going to even want to be part of Team Witness in honor of Abbie, or is he just going to be like walking away because it's too painful?
No, it's going to go back to Tyler Perry.
What, Maria?
It's going to go back to Tyler Perry. Every time I would see Danny, I was like, go back to Tyler Perry where you came from. I
loved him. I
was not having it. I mean, not as part of like trying to get in the show and like, I was like, no, not working, go back to Tyler Perry.
I loved every bit of Danny. I loved every
I like them too.
bit of Danny.
I like Danny.
Well, he's hot. I'll give you that.
I like Danny. For himself. I like when he had that like little fight.
Well, I mean, I just don't understand. You know, I mean, I'm still gonna watch the show. I mean, you know, I do want to say that there are a myriad of reasons why the show hooked me, but I mean, primarily, like I've always said, it's the chemistry between Tom and Nikki. I just don't understand why this needed to happen. I mean, I almost felt like, and I almost don't even want to say it, but I mean, I don't know. No, I won't say it.
Come on, who's gonna hear? It's us.
Everybody, the whole world.
I'm probably feeling something similar, Chrissy. It's okay.
No, it's all right. I mean, I almost feel like, why did they even bother with season 3? I mean, at least we would have had our bookend, you know, ended at season 2 finale, and yeah, I would have been devastated no matter what. But to have an entire season and then be strung along. My hurt mainly is about the fact that they strung us along, thinking that we were going to have Ichabod. And
they were like,
and
you know
what? It would have
been, and they knew it wasn't. They knew it wasn't.
But had they at least just had one kiss, I could have dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? Because then at least he would have said they would have expressed it, and she moves on, and that's it.
They
were giving us.
I wasn't. I was never a romantic Ichabod shipper. You know that, Chrissy. So for me, if they didn't kiss, I was not. He kissed her on the hand. I was fine with that. Because at the end of the day, she was trying to move forward with Danny. So I was fine with that too. So I don't know. I guess but their intimacy was just. I guess it was beyond. I guess it didn't need a physical relationship for me.
Well, that's what Clifton had said about that.
Yeah.
It was beyond that, about the bond and this and that.
But for those of us who are shippers, it was.
I know, I understand.
Would have been nice.
It's very much. There's no closure there.
Right.
So we're just left hanging. It's unbelievable. I honestly, I've never felt like this after watching a show. I'm in sci-fi and in fantasy and horror. We deal with character deaths all the time. I've never felt anything like this. There's no sense of that there was anything. Oh God, I can't even find the right words. The way that they ended her character, I feel like she was at such a level, and they actually knocked her down a few notches, and then they kind of said, "Screw you, fandom." When last year it was. I know it was a lot of people, but it was a lot of Ichabod shippers that were fighting so hard. We did some polls against some of these teeny bopper fandoms that are fierce. I feel like we put so much advertising for the show and just spreading the word to be disrespected. Like, they just didn't even care that we put in the effort. They couldn't give us anything, and they made sure that the couple of things that we did ask for, they made sure that we didn't get them.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that if you're the Nabby shipper, he came in at the last minute and he got the kiss. But for those of us who were here for 3 seasons waiting for this, it is incredibly disappointing.
Yeah.
And I can't stress that enough.
But at least you were like shippers of something that was in a way achievable.
Yes, it was achievable.
It was right there.
That is not something that comes out of fandom's brain. That is not going to happen. And then you didn't take it out on the writers when you didn't get it, and you started bad-mouthing the show and the writers and the actors because the things are not going your way. You still continued supporting the show, which is why I feel you guys. I feel you. I'm not an Ichabod person myself, but I can see how you could be like, they didn't give me what I wanted, and they disrespected us after all we did, and I get all that. I appreciate you guys, because without all the work that you guys put in, you put in 1,000 times more
I give you all that
than I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
Than I did, for real. It's like insane. And then they come and they do this, and you're like, what the hell? Like, I'm still like, I was watching last night, I was like, they did not do just that.
I mean, for me, I was just like, they did not just do that to the Nkki. Y'all just totally destroyed your fandom right there.
I know, and that's what I don't understand. Like, what? Who's gonna watch? I mean,
I'm not, and I'm not an Ichabod person, and I love Tom. I think that Tom is awesome. I have laughed my head off with Ichabod and all his antics and his random reactions at random things, like the food tax that completely destroyed him in the first season. But I'm not. today I literally deleted every episode of season 3 that I had on my DVR, and I also deleted the season pass. It's not happening for me anymore. It's done. The show ended yesterday. It's like I have survived. Like I have survived Joss Whedon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am a Whedon survivor.
Oh my god.
Okay, so with Firefly, at least that ended on a high note. I mean, this season for me just...
Yes, it did.
I know, they only got... Yeah, but who knows what would have happened if you got more than one season. But at least, again, he ended on a high note.
Thank you.
And Firefly, I got that movie to wrap things up, you know.
The one thing about Sleepy Hollow is that they never got to say I love you to each other. They had to always have someone else do it. It would have ended
that was true. True that. They could have at least said it to each other. I'll give you that.
They just had to say it was a cheap trick to have other people express what they were feeling.
That was right. That was a nightmare.
Yeah. And I mean, you can't even tell her at the grave. I mean, you can't even say that I love you.
Exactly.
Just say it, you know? What is the big deal?
The porch scene would have been the perfect opportunity to say I love you, and that was the end.
And they just dissed us, basically. You know, I mean...
all of those memories they had, he could have said it. All of those flashbacks.
That was so cheap. That was so cheap. And I mean, I'm like a halfway Ichabod and Abbie shipper, and I mean, we all knew they loved each other, but to have all those people say it and not them, that's enough to make me never ever want to do anything they ever do.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, even if it turns out that they get a season 4 and it's going to be great, I don't ever trust these writers. I don't trust them. They definitely baited. They said that all roads lead to, that the Betsy Ross thing was, you know, building this arc for Ichabod, and, you know, they were just going to do Joni first. They were going to focus on Joni first, and then they're just not doing Ichabod at the moment. I mean, these are their words. These are the words of the showrunner. Like, just hang in there, guys. Just keep waiting. It's coming. It's coming. Zoe is an arc for Ichabod. You know, all of these things. You know, and they knew all along that it wasn't going to happen. And they should have just said, you know what, we're going to keep them as friends. Please just, you know, watch it for what it is.
But in all fairness, they did. They kept saying we're not going to, you know, they're better.
Yeah, they did. They said
no. And what? Go ahead, Darla. What?
Did they really say that, though?
They did.
Said it way back.
They said it. Yeah, they did say. They said, no, you know.
Many they said it, not towards the end.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, in the beginning of the show, and I guess that's why I was fine with it, with them not being together, because they've mentioned several times that they weren't in it, they weren't writing them as people that were going to eventually have a relationship, like a romantic relationship. So that's why I was always fine with them not having a relationship. So I'm like, all right, that's fine, but their chemistry was still good as partners, as really good friends, and just surpassing even friendship, just like as family. They were family. So,
but they always,
I was always, I don't know.
But they always said it's something that they would like to explore it and play with it, and they know they chose their wording very, very well.
Yeah, they did.
Particularly Raven always chose his. They never shut it down, and that's what I always said. If someone ever goes to con, could you just ask them just ask them one way or the other? If it's not happening, I'm one of those. If it's not happening, just let me know, because I see what I see, and you're making me think, am I crazy? Because those are heart eyes. Those are literal heart eyes. If you can put an emoji on Tom's face, that's a heart eye emoji. You know what I mean? I'm like, you're not crazy. He's sipping that whiskey and brandy, and he's giving her the eye, and she's giving her the coy smile. We girls know exactly what that is. So we're not insane.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to be romantic. Then you're not a very good actor, because that looks romantic to me.
I think what made it really upsetting was the fact that they made it sound like Abbie was expendable in the end, and he was just going to get another partner that would be the same level as her.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
That's what it was like. You'll get another partner, my soul will be in her, and then you'll both be like
that was gross.
besties.
I don't understand. I'm having a hard time with that whole concept. I really am.
Like, what? Like your soul going to somebody else and then you'll be best partners again? Like what?
Well, I mean, okay, so if you believe in reincarnation, let's just talk about that. So if you believe in reincarnation, she is a witness, right? So it's going to be, she will be reincarnated. Her soul will be reincarnated in another person from her bloodline. It's just going to be another person, but it is her soul. So so then I'm wondering, well, I could see that happening if, what if she, remembers her previous life with him? I just don't understand how that's going to work.
Which is
It's
what
the
I
husband and hot girl.
which is what I, yes, and that's what I was saying last night. That's what I told you last night. Hot girl.
Yeah,
On
it's
Legends
husband
of
and hot girl.
Tomorrow.
What?
Girl. I don't know who that is.
Hot girl.
They're from the comics. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I watch Arrow. That's part
Yeah,
of the Flash.
Legends of
And then
Tomorrow.
Flash.
That's Hawk Girl. And
Okay.
she's a DC character, yes. DC
That was
comics
a
character.
Character.
I did enjoy that.
She and Hawkman got killed by this great wizard kind of thing,
Vandal
whatever.
Savage, yeah.
Vandal Savage, and they reincarnate. And every time they reincarnate, it takes a while, but then they meet each other, and all the memories come flooding back. So you're not just stealing from Supernatural badly. Now you're gonna go ahead and steal from the comics with the concept of Hawk Girl, which is what I was hearing last night.
But isn't it like a power that's being recreated and not so much a soul?
It's
like
a
person.
it's the soul. Everybody's
soul. Her soul's gonna go into this other person.
So it's actually the person that's being reincarnated. And Hawk Girl and Buffy was just the power that's being reincarnated into a new generation.
And Hawk Girl is the same person.
It didn't make a lot of sense, but they said it's going to be it'll be a different family member. But I feel like they're going to bring, and I hate to say this, but I'm just going to.
Go ahead, I know.
It's going to be a white woman. Really.
I hope that that's not the case.
It's going to be a white woman.
That's such a sellout.
I don't think they would do that. That would be like a serious punch in the face. So
they don't care about punching people in the face. They just killed Abbie. They don't care.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop in really quick and say they just pretty much made anybody from the Mills, Dixon, Foster line just the help. They're born to just help.
Yeah.
They just want to help advance the Crane line. They are basically there to be.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
I know.
That's what it feels like. That's just what it felt like in the season finale. I'm like, are you serious?
Well, and the other thing is, but this is what I don't understand. We've seen several people from, the Mills, Dixon, Foster line, but nobody on Ichabod's side. So what happens if he gets killed? He's the last witness.
He's the only one. He's the only one that's alive in his line. He's the last Crane.
Yeah, he's the last one.
Tom Mason will not be killed.
Yeah.
But Abbie has a huge family, so any of the next witnesses anything can happen to them. Their purpose could be pointless, for a season or two, and then move on to the next, until they're done.
Yeah, they're just there to help him advance to the end goal.
That was
Grace died
for his family. That was the worst line of the episode, and that's above her dying. The worst line was, "My job was to help you do whatever."
I know.
Like, what the hell?
I couldn't believe she said that, because they just effectively made her a plot device. So, her identity was stolen. They stole her identity. They stole her agency, and just made her a plot device.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got everything you wanted in life, but your main goal was just to serve him.
Exactly.
She really didn't get everything she wanted in life. It was just a dream.
She was just starting to have the things that she wanted, a home, and she just got with the FBI, and now she's gone. So she just got a little taste, of the things that she wanted in life. But because he's now ready to move into the world without her, her job's done, so she's at peace.
Yeah,
no way.
Finally,
They should have made it an
she got a
urgency.
job. She got a job, and she's dead. Great.
Well, Diana,
I have a story to tell. I still don't understand that.
Diana, we haven't heard from you for a while. What do you think?
Yeah, I know. I'm just.
You said you needed to vent.
I do. I need so many things, but I'm having a hard time with this, and I really agree with Tina when she was saying earlier that she's never felt like this about any character on any TV show before, and that's like that for me too. I mean, I've seen several characters die on favorite TV shows, which just never felt like this. I think what makes me so angry is that after seeing the interviews and everything, it was pretty clear that Nicole wanted to leave, and they knew this from the beginning of season 3. So, assuming they had an entire season to plan this, why was it so bad? I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. I just felt
they could have done so many things. Knowing she wanted to leave, and for me, my perspective, if I was running the show, starting a 3rd season when one of your main leads wants to leave, where ratings are bad, so you know 4th season is unlikely. For me, I would have done the 3rd season as a final season, just planned everything out so that it could go out with a bang, kill both of them, make them both sacrifice themselves to save the world, and end the series there.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done.
At least if they both sacrificed themselves and there was the concept of reincarnation, then at least the idea of saying goodbye to both of them, grieving for both of them, and then hopefully maybe learning more about the new people would have been like a fresh start.
Yeah.
But instead they kill off Abbie.
Even if they wanted to do a whole reboot of the series like that, I would have been okay with it. But this, they are just completely annihilating the concept of them being equals, which is something that disturbs me deeply.
Yeah, it was just, I just feel like, did they really think this through? I mean, they didn't. I just feel like
it doesn't feel like they did, and they had an entire year for that.
Right, and
you can see from the X-Files that they were grooming 2 people to take over for David Duchovny and
Gillian Anderson. Well,
yeah, so they were grooming. They could have done the same thing in this show.
Yeah.
And groomed 2 people to start taking their place.
Or to have a couple of people coming into the peripheral that that might have been able to
have Tom Meissen and Nikki leave, and then have those 2 step into the place. So the witnesses are both on the same level, and they're getting rebooted. Nikki gets to leave, Tom gets to leave, and they have the 2 replacements that will, the audience got to know already. And
yeah.
You know what makes it so bad? It's like I couldn't even mourn Joe. Not really.
I know.
I'm like,
we're not. But I actually thought that if they did away with the hidden one or whatever his name was, I kept calling him Enameus because he was on Spartacus, and that was his name.
Thank you. Spartacus fan. Yes, thank you.
I actually subtitled all the DVDs in Spanish. That is my job. I subtitle DVDs. So I did all the Spartacus. I actually thought that when they killed the hidden one, everything that he had done would be unmade.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe would come back.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, I had forgotten about Joe. I mean, I legit had forgotten about Joe.
See, I really, I'm sorry. I like Joe. I don't think that they should have killed him off. I mean, listen, if they didn't, I mean, it makes no sense. You're going to kill Jenny's sister off, then you might as well have Joe there to console her. I don't understand otherwise. It made no sense that he needed to die, and I do think they could have brought him back.
Last year, some of the writers are the same writers from last year, and I just remember last year they didn't want. I don't think that they wanted to get rid of John Noble and Katrina, but they messed up those characters. That's on them. John Noble is excellent. So the right before the finale, they killed off John Noble, And then on the finale, they killed off Katrina. And I think that might have been part of what, remember I told you, I said I just had this really sinking feeling. I said, they're doing it to us again. They're going to mirror, because last year they lost what they wanted, and this year we're going to lose what we wanted. We wanted Joe back.
Yeah.
They took him away, and then what we really love is Abbie. They're going to take her away too. I just had that sinking feeling for several days, and that's exactly what, after they killed off Joe before the finale, I said, "Oh my God."
Yeah. Well, that's so funny that you say that, because honestly, like, I guess it was Tuesday, I started getting really, really nervous, and I just thought, I'm just like, something's not right, and everybody was so quiet. There was hardly anything going on social media. I was shocked, Thursday night, nobody's around. It was like, the calm before the storm almost. And I was just going, oh my God, this isn't good. And then when that thing, like, originally, tried to grab her and pull her into the box, and they were able to close the box up, I thought, oh no, this isn't good. This is not good. And then from that point on, I was just like, oh my God, I can't even believe this. And I'm just like, you might as well have just said it was the series finale. I mean, that's how I felt. Because it was just like, what,
for me,
and the other thing too is, I am intrigued, I have to say. I am intrigued about this, secret war and the whatever this FBI. I mean, I am intrigued by that. But I still don't understand how you can have a show about the two witnesses when one of the witnesses is gone. I just don't understand how it's going to work.
That Abbie always had to sacrifice herself and no one.
Yeah.
I with the hidden one in that whole story arc, like, I was a Spartacus fan, so I saw Peter Menzel on that show, and I loved him on that show.
Mm-hmm.
So when I heard that he was on this show, I was like, yes, I get to see him again on my TV screen. So I was a little miffed that his death was just like 5 seconds and Jenny just shot him. And I'm just like, shouldn't have been a little bit more than that? I don't know, I guess I was expecting more. It was definitely anticlimactic for me. And I'm just like, I just don't understand.
Yeah. Everything seemed anticlimactic. For some reason, Headless never seemed anticlimactic. And
not even that. I was like,
I have been waiting for Headless all season.
I know. Michelle, what were you going to say? You wanted to...
I was going to say, yeah, exactly. I agree with Tina. I was waiting for Headless to come back the entire season to mess up Pandora and kill the hidden one. He came back so freaking weak. Oh my,
Although I did like the part where he was like pretty much chopping her up a little bit.
That was really good. I like that part.
I was like, chop her again. I hated saying that, but I'm like, yes, do it again.
That was Spartacus fan talking. Chop it again.
I thought them killing Pandora would get Abbie out of the box.
Say that again, Alicia. What?
I just said I thought them killing Pandora would like release Abbie or whoever else.
Yeah, I know. That's
what I thought too.
When she said she was dead, I was like, what? And I still didn't even believe it. I still didn't.
I know. I mean, honestly, like, I could not even, and I still am having a hard time articulating, like, exactly how I'm feeling and what I was about the entire thing, just because it's just, the one thing that I did like about it was I'm glad that they gave us August Corbin. And they sort of, them sitting, eating their apple pie and ice cream. And I was happy that we got our Joe and August little man hug reunion thing.
Grace and Mama should have been there as well. I honestly feel that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Grace would have been, yes.
And Mama.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been really good to have Grace. Yeah, they should have.
I did love in the beginning though, Ichabod was carrying Abbie. I lost my
I know, me too.
I lost it.
I was like, oh my God, look how cute. Oh, it was
But then you know what? Like in hindsight, it makes me even more upset.
Yeah.
Because you were talking about earlier that you had some feelings, that you had a feeling something was going to go wrong. I had no feeling. I was completely blindsided by this. So yesterday I didn't watch live. I went out and I had like a really crappy night. When I got back home, it was like 3 a.m. or something, and the episode had just aired, and I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll just watch it now. I'm not going to go on Twitter because that's just not going to go good.
Yeah,
right. I'm gonna watch the episode. I'm gonna cheer up because this is gonna be good. That's what I thought.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I started watching, and we get the whole Ichabod carrying Abbie. We get Betsy freaking Ross saying that his heart belongs to her, and I was like, okay, this was a good idea. I was so wrong. It was not a good idea at all.
It just went downhill from that point.
I actually did something that I don't normally do. I didn't wait for the West Coast viewing. I watched the link that you guys.
Oh yeah.
And I am really happy that I did that because I don't know what I would have done if I would have been the only person excited about this, because I'm always excited every week.
Yeah,
me too.
The West Coast, I'm about to do this, and then everybody. I mean, I didn't even watch it with the West Coast, and I normally will watch it and then watch it again and tweet all over again.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, at least if there is God, that God was looking out for me that night, because I mean, I would have cursed everybody out. Like, I would have embarrassed so many people.
It was terrible. I mean, I finished the episode around 4 a.m. I was crying so much. I woke up my sister. She came to my room to ask me if I was okay. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. But I was bawling my eyes out.
I know, that's the thing, you know. And the thing that I don't know what it is or why, but for whatever reason, I've never been this involved or passionate about a television show as I have been with Sleepy Hollow, and I don't know what it is or why that is. Like I'm feeling like, okay, what am I, a reincarnation of like some Revolutionary War soldier or something? I don't know what it is, but it's just that's why it was just like getting kicked in the gut, and then somebody just kept stomping on my heart, you know, and it was just, I just could not even function. It was just...
Yeah, because Abbie is our perspective. She is the audience. She's us, and it's like they just took that away.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah. I don't know if it was you, Alicia, or if it was someone else who posted on Twitter that, because on every good review show, they all admit, for over the last 2-3 years, they've said Abbie is the audience, Abbie is us. We all know this. So it really does feel like that they did this to us. They diminished us to secondary, to unimportant, we're expendable, and, you know, they killed us.
Could it be that
that's exactly how I feel. Like, it's they killed us.
Could it be that they are so petty that they decided, oh well, since the audience, since the ratings are going down and stuff, so we don't need the audience, so we're just gonna kill the representative of the audience because nobody's gonna care? Could it be that they are so petty and thought that?
But this is the thing. But this is the thing, you guys. The thing is that through all of this, I honestly did not think that they were that calculating, and that they were thinking along those lines. Because in my eyes, I was like, okay, they've got a whole show to put together. I don't even think that I mean, I can understand that they would be oblivious to some of the stuff that's going on, but I just didn't think that they would be, like, actively plotting. I mean, but after seeing last night's episode, and then now, when I think back to everything, I mean, you know, the fandom kept the damn show alive, for God's sakes, and I mean, it's just so, and so I don't want to believe that there would be somebody cackling in another room, you know, plotting and planning like that.
Yeah, I think that there may have also been some upset. I know that there's a lot of hardcore Ichabod shippers that fought for the show last year, and they actively said that they are not going to come back to watching the show until Ichabod happens. And so you saw a good, I don't know, I guess from 0.9 to a 1.4. So you see that big, huge drop of those Ichabod shippers that are on Twitter and on Tumblr and everywhere else, and they're saying, nope, we're not watching unless Ichabod happens. And so I think there might have been some, well, since they're not going to watch anyway, we'll just kill Ichabod, because it didn't matter to them that the rest of us had stuck it through.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of us still stayed, and a lot of them said that they would come back, you know, if Ichabod happened, because they still like the characters. Clearly, they still tweet about it and do Tumblr about it. You know, they're still around checking in. You know, they're just not going to actively watch and actively campaign. So there might have been some feelings about that, like we were expendable, and I just don't think that they realized how many of us were still left. Or that they cared, or
I don't know how you can say that we don't care. I mean, you know, all of us. There's a huge amount, a slew of us out there that are there day in and day out, 24/7, on Twitter, on Tumblr, you know, on Facebook, you know, talking about the show. We talk about the show all the time, constantly. We call each other on the phone. I mean, it's not like it's, you know, how they could not know that or take that into consideration.
They know though, Chrissy. They asked a question on Facebook. When the season back in September and November, they asked what we thought about the witnesses' relationship and how it was progressing. And overwhelmingly, everyone was like they either wanted Ichabod now or Ichabod by the end. And so
they didn't do it.
They didn't do it. But
that's what I don't understand.
To them, when they bring in new Abbie, she'll probably be more acceptable, and then they can let that happen at the end with their more acceptable Abbie, whoever she's gonna be.
Yeah. The thing that's wrong with that is that the reason that we fell in love with them as a couple is because of Tom and Nikki's chemistry, the natural chemistry that they have.
They don't get that.
Doesn't matter though.
They think you can make it up.
No, you can't make that up, and they know that. Listen, I'm sorry, but casting directors, they know that. They know when I think it was Alex Kurtzman, Roberto Orsi, Len Weissman, Philip Biscoff, when they were looking for an Abbie, they looked at you know, hundreds, and they could see the chemistry and the
no, they had Abbie. They were looking for Ichabod.
Ichabod. Yeah.
Well, anyway, but what I'm saying is, it's like in their test, in their audition test together, they could see the chemistry and how natural their bond was and how well they played off each other. And so they knew, and they wanted her, and they wanted him, and that's why, because it has to work. There has to be a synergy there. You can't just plot somebody in the role and just be like, oh, well, you know, oh, you need to act. I don't know.
They did that with Katrina. Nobody screen tested her. They saw the actress that they thought was pretty and that they wanted for the spot, and they made her Katrina. And then even though there was no chemistry with Ichabod and Katrina, they still tried to make that happen in season 2. There's no chemistry with Ichabod and Betsy. They still tried to, you know, give them kissing scenes. There was no chemistry with Ichabod and Zoe, and they still tried to make us believe that that was a relationship. You know. And there was good chemistry with Danny and Cole, but it wasn't as good as
Tom and Nikki.
But it was good. It was good.
But it was amazing, and that kiss. I'm sorry, guys. It was everything. I loved it.
I can't say that's okay.
You're adorable.
You can
you right now.
It was amazing.
Everybody's gonna cry now.
I know. Oh my God.
We got the kiss and we got dead Abbie.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to still process stuff. I'm working on an article that I will maybe post tomorrow. We'll see.
Has anybody here watched Torchwood? Like the good Torchwood. Let's not talk about the thing that they did here. The good Torchwood.
I don't know what. I've never seen that.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so Torchwood, yes. Torchwood spun off Doctor Who with John Barrowman in the lead as Captain Jack. They had one great season. Season 2 happened. Season 2 happened. And then we got something called the Children of Earth miniseries.
Yeah.
Don't say anything bad because my friend wrote that.
I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying this. I kept watching. I was like getting the links every day as it aired, and I would watch. And I got to episode, I think 4, I can't remember if it was 6 episodes or 5. It was the episode before last. And they pulled something similar to what happened last night here with Abbie. And I felt like you guys are feeling right now. And it was horrible.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just that happened. On the final episode, something else happened that completely annihilated Captain Jack. It was horrible.
Oh my god. I just, I don't know. I just feel like I'm drained. I'm drained emotionally and physically and every which way. What? Who wants to say something?
I wanted to say something.
Okay, go ahead, Darla.
I'm sitting here thinking about some of the things that Nicole said. Oh God, I don't remember if it was 2004. I think it might have been 2014 at the London MC Comic-Con.
Yeah.
When she talked about how she was going to be there doing the con, and she was so shocked that there were people there that were there to see her.
Yeah.
And even though they knew that Tom wasn't going to be there, and she was always told that it wouldn't work without him.
Right.
So it's like if they go ahead and do a season 4 without Nicole, it's kind of proving that point because they see her as being expendable.
Well,
yeah.
They don't view her as being as important to the show as Tom is.
I agree because they're working with Tom now, to renegotiate his contract. Why couldn't they work with Nicole?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. I mean,
when she was having trouble, whatever the problems were after season 2 that made her first feel like she needed to leave, why not try to work something out to make her want to stay?
Because they didn't want to work with her.
Because they didn't want her. They just said, okay, we'll make sure you get out of this. But with Tom, they'll make sure.
You know why? You know why, Tina? Because the same writers that were in season 2 are the same writers that were in season 3.
Yes.
And that's the only reason why. You know what I'm saying? And they probably had a grudge against, her or something because of season 2. And it spilled into season 3.
Well, the other thing too, though, it's like we'll never know what really was going on. I mean, a lot of this is conjecture. Yeah, stuff.
You can tell really how happy an actor are, like, by how much they promoted and how much they're behind it and how much, for example, Supernatural, you can tell that the guys really love each other and care about each other and everyone behind the scenes are best friends. On Sleepy Hollow, I didn't get really that feeling that they're all like besties, like with the creator and all that stuff.
I didn't. In season 1, we did. In season 1, Glenn was out there with Orlando and with Tom and Nikki. They were all together. They were happy and they were laughing. Season 1, I got that feeling. Season 2, the producers started sitting between Tom and Nicole, and Tom and Nicole would like glance over at each other and, mimic each other. And then after that, when they realized that they couldn't break that chemistry, they just kind of like really just it was either only Tom or only Nicole, but really only Tom and then none of them. And then
that's when you start to see things break down, when they're not really into it anymore. Then and the actors are trying to leave at season 3 and break their contracts and get out of it. You could always tell that there's something going on behind the scenes. There's a problem.
Yeah. Well, and two, I mean, I will say when they did the San Diego Comic-Con in 2014, they all were really fun. I mean,
that was the one that I taped.
Yeah,
right?
you went there too. Yeah, that's when I met you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were great. I mean, and it was so much fun. I mean,
those were fun to watch.
Yeah, and I mean, they came out to the virtual, what was it, the Oculus machine, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The entire cast came. They all went in. They did it. They talked to everybody. I mean, they were all looked like they were really having a lot of fun and that they loved each other. I mean, you got that kind of camaraderie between them, and you got a sense that they were really excited about season 2. And then midway through season 2, it just kind of went downhill. Anyway. Oh God.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I mean, I do want to say too. I mean, I almost didn't do Hollow Hangout tonight again because I'm just still trying to process things. But I just want everybody to just kind of just try to, I guess, take a deep breath and take a step back. I think what we'll do is maybe do another one in a month, down the line. Maybe I'll be able to articulate better. I don't know but
Yeah, it's. I think it's funny how this just puts everything into perspective. Because like the last Hollow Hangout we did, we were upset about Abbie, and we were talking about Joe dying and everything. It just seems much smaller now. And we've been talking on Twitter about rewatching all seasons over the summer. I don't even know if I'm capable of doing that right now, honestly, because I know how it is. I know what it is.
Well,
and it makes me upset.
Yeah. Well, and two, I mean, there are a bunch of us that will be at New York Comic Con, and we're going to do a big meetup. We're going to, Deb and I will plan it. We're going to try and do it in Sleepy Hollow, New York. So, I mean, at least we could have one big party, and chat.
Yeah, sorry I can't be there, but.
Yeah,
I'm trying to go to New York. I'm trying to go to New York this year.
Oh, come on, Nat, you gotta go. Oh my God, it's so much fun. It's a blast. So yeah, so I think that we have that to look forward to, and I mean, I'm still gonna watch the show. I mean, I do like the show. I love Tom. I mean, I'll watch it as long as he's on it, I guess.
Yeah, but,
I'm just not gonna be.
That's the thing. I wonder how he's feeling because I mean, a lot of people with all of this. It's almost like if I was Tom, I would be feeling like people didn't even want to watch me anymore.
I know. I feel bad for him because
I feel bad for him too because of that. But yeah, like in the last 24 hours, I've gone from being completely certain I would never watch it again or rewatch it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not so sure. But I'm pretty sure I might change my opinion again in like an hour or two. So I'll just have to see how I feel over the summer because I do think they will get a season 4.
Oh yeah,
from what I've been telling, I think they will get there.
I think they will get one too. And unfortunately, I mean, and I don't blame anybody for wanting to watch the show and continue to support the show because we all watched it for different reasons. And I accidentally loved it and fell in love with Nicole. So it's just. It wouldn't be anything for me personally, and I know a lot of people do feel that way, but it just wouldn't be anything for me to watch. It wouldn't be enjoyable. I don't love Tom like I loved her. So it's not for me anymore. So I pretty much know. I know for sure I won't. I mean, I won't tweet and all that. I mean, I'll keep up with everyone or whoever keep up, but it's not for me.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, for me, I love Tom just as much as I love Nicole. So if it had been him dying, I would have been going through the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I would still be upset, and I still wouldn't want to watch it because for me, it was about the two of them doing it together.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what it is. It was because I'm mourning the loss of Tom and Nikki and the chemistry. And what it could have been and what it should have been, and I mean honestly, it's like I've never felt this way about a character or actress on a television show. It's just.
I feel weird about that. I really feel weird that I've never cried over someone dying on TV.
Yeah.
I've never had a show or person completely just capture, I think, my whole soul. I feel like I lost my soul to these people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's interesting.
I like legitimately, and I didn't cry right away. I cried once the West Coast viewing started because I knew there's no way I can watch that again.
Yeah.
I knew, and that's when it really hit me. Like 3 hours later, I was like, oh my God, there's no way. So I mean, I feel weird that I feel this way, but and I don't think that I'll ever feel this way about anything else. So that's actually good, but
yeah, but well, the funny thing is like after after the show, and then I'm like, I cannot do Hello Hangout immediately following. I was just a mess, and then I felt empty I guess that's the best word to describe it. It was emptiness. Like it was just like sucked. The energy was just completely sucked out of me. It was just, and I love Tom as much as I love Nicole, and so if it had been him, yeah, I'd still be a hot mess as well. But the thing with Nikki is that she represented so many different, I don't know what the word is, issues. You know what I mean? She was like a role model.
I know what you mean.
She was a role model, and she was paving the way in Hollywood for women of color and young women everywhere. And I think too, I feel like it was that representation was like stamped on. That's sort of how I was. If that makes sense to you, I don't know if I.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably felt numb, I think. Numb is what you feel when something like this happens, because it's all at once, it's sudden, you're absolutely not expecting it, you're blindsided, you had all this invested, and it goes away like that. And so you're just numb. You don't know what to feel anymore. You can't process, you can't articulate. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Did you guys read the Deb's article?
Oh my God.
You know,
I can't.
I was like,
yes.
yeah.
That was so sad. You gotta read it.
It was exactly what I was thinking and feeling, and yeah, it just made me feel upset all over again, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know.
I know I'm not a crier. I don't cry very easily, and I've had this lump in my throat since last night. And my husband's like, "You better cry because you need to get it out, or it's gonna come out at the worst time." And I knew as soon as I clicked the button for Hollow Hangout and I heard everybody talking, I was like, "Oh God, here it comes." I don't cry, but I couldn't eat. I didn't sleep Thursday because I was so nervous because I felt like this was gonna happen. So I didn't sleep Thursday. I didn't sleep Friday. I haven't eaten. My husband forced me to eat before we did the hangout. And he's so sweet. But I literally felt sick and I don't know, shocked, I guess. And just this lump, like this dry lump in my throat. And I've never felt like this. And he's like, "You are grieving," and I'm like, "No, it's just a show."
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we say that all the time, right? It's just a show. I shouldn't be feeling this way, darn it. But
that's the thing. I mean, if we show like our friends, not friends that like don't watch Sleepy Hollow, if we show them this, like what we're doing now and how we're feeling, they would think we're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they do. All my friends do. But one of my best friend, she tells me, she's like, "Okay, I know I don't really get it because she doesn't watch TV. She certainly doesn't watch Sleepy Hollow. But one thing that this show did for me is kind of woke me up to all issues that happen to Black people." And I mean, she even told me, she's like, "You know, I don't even watch this show. You make a show about every single thing we talk about, the whole world." And it is. I mean, it's like real life. It happens. I mean, the things that kind of went down here. So.
Yeah, this has definitely opened my eyes. I come from sci-fi genre, and things have happened to particular characters throughout the shows that I've watched. Particularly, I'm going to say things have happened particularly to women of color, but people of color in general, how easily people of color are the ones that die. But particularly the way that women of color are treated, even if they're in lead or secondary roles. And I just didn't realize it. And then I found Tumblr because I saw the really cute Ichabod fan art. And so I found Tumblr, and then they started talking about these tropes, and they're like, "Did you know this trope, and I'm like, "You know that show that I watched? That happened, and that show that I watched, and this only happened with women of color." And it really opened my eyes big time, and it's a real problem in the sci-fi genre, the way that women are treated. And I was telling you, Chris, you guys yesterday, with women of color, if they're going to be in a relationship with a white male, they're usually biracial or racially ambiguous. I guess they fit a certain look that they like for them to have, and if they don't have that look, then they can't be paired with a white male, or especially not the white male lead. And when they have been paired, it always ends tragically, and I can name them off, where you're like, oh, well, there was a woman of color in that one. Yeah, there was a woman of color in Misfit, and they paired them with the white person, and the relationship ended tragically. Being Human, both Europe and America, the woman of color with the white male, it ended tragically. Firefly, she was happily married. At the very end, they killed her husband. They killed Zoe's husband. She was pregnant. Spoiler alert! But at the very end.
Yeah, if you have not seen the movie, yeah, that's major spoiler alert.
Years ago.
Spoiler alert! But something happens there. And Merlin, same thing. Of course, we know what the story of Merlin, but they wait until the very end to let them get together, and then of course it's going to have the tragic ending. So I noticed this pattern.
They did that. People had a huge outcry. I don't watch this show, but the 100, they just did something similar with a lesbian couple. I don't even watch the show, and that was.
And they did it with
Oh, can I mention the couple? They did that to Pam and Tara on True Blood.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Do not get me started on True Blood.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
No, I am still pissed about what they did to Tara. Like, I'm serious.
I am too. Opening credits.
I didn't watch that show.
I saw it. I still have.
Read the books. They're much better.
So I am learning now, and I was talking with my neighbor. She came by because she watched Sleepy Hollow, and she's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And I said, I'm okay. Are you okay? And she's a woman of color, and she had told me something when she stopped watching, because she said she saw the writing